What is SME? Small and medium-sized entities from the Malaysia context and defined by two criteria, which is by manufacturing sector and service and other sectors. For the manufacturing sector, SME are defined as firms which sell turnover not exceeding RM 50 million or number of full-time employees not exceeding 200. For the service and other sectors, SMEs are defined as firms which sell turnover not exceeding RM 20 million or number of full-time employees not exceeding 75. Under the new definition, all SME must be entities registered with Company Commission of Malaysia or other equivalent bodies. It, however, excludes entities that are public listed on the main board and subsidiaries of publicly listed company on the main board, multinational corporations, government-linked company, syarikat Menteri Keuangan di Perbankan, and state-owned enterprise.
The criteria to determining small and medium-sized entity (SME) in Malaysian context is by looking at the size of sale turnover and the size of their employees. Entities can be divided into two sectors, which is manufacturing sectors and service and other sectors. Number of employees is from 5 to 75. Service and other sectors. Sale turnover amount is from RM 300,000 to RM 50 million, while the number of employees is from 5 to 75. While for medium entities in Malaysia, manufacturing sector sales turnover amount starting from RM 15 million to RM 50 million, and the number of the employees is from 75 to 200 employees. For service and other sectors, the amount of sales turnover is from RM 3 million to RM 20 million, and the number of employees is from 30 to 75 employees. Now, criteria of determination for small and medium entities SME in Indonesia. The Ministry of Cooperative and SME define SME based on the National Law 20/2008. Small entities in Indonesia. According to the Ministry of Cooperative, small entities in Indonesia have net asset amounting from Indonesia rupiah 50 million until Indonesia rupiah 500 million, not including land and building used by the business or enterprise, which have annual revenue of more than Indonesia rupiah 300 million but less than Indonesia rupiah 2.5 billion. While for medium entities in Indonesia, not including the land and building used by the business or enterprise, which have annual revenue of more than Indonesia rupiah 2.5 billion but less than Indonesia rupiah 50 billion.
There are several questions that the most frequently asked about SME. First is, what business should I choose? Before choosing a business, you should make a 3 actions that need to be done. First is budget planning. Make a starting business plan. Decide what you will require on the first day of operation. To avoid overestimating your loan, assess the charge. Higher interest will come from larger loan. Step 2. Calculate your monthly fixed and variable costs, as well as any cost associated with your firm, so that you are always prepared to look for available funds to cover your bills. Step 3. Estimate monthly sale by calculate the BEP, so that you can estimate by how much sale must be achieved in order to get profit. Step 4. Make a statement of cash flow. Your cash requirement and the amount you will borrow in the future may be determined by looking at the overall cash balance on your statement. Keeping your new company effective requires effective cash flow management. Second action is market size and demand. Do some research on the people who could be your target market, such as students for a business that fix and maintain electronic, or women for a cosmetic retailer. You must consider on where to solve the audience problem. Put yourself as one of the audience, what and how to do. Third action is study about your competitors. Study about their main attraction and how they they do. For example, transportation and services business. Study and identifying your competitors, evaluating their strength and weakness, and evaluating their strength and weakness of their service. Second question is, what legal aspect that I need to consider? Legal aspect of business examine the role of law on all aspects of business ownership and management. There are two legal aspects. First is business structure. Choose the right legal form for your SME from among sole proprietorship, partnership, limited liability company or corporation. Regarding responsibility, taxation and compliance, each structure has specific legal implications. Second is registration and licensing. Register your SME with appropriate government department to obtain the license needed to do lawful business. This might entail business registration, tax identification numbers, license related to your sector, health and safety permit and more, depending on your location and the type of your company.
The last question, what do I have to do to get the loan? There are many ways to get the loan through the financial bank, two of them which are personal loan and bank overdraft. Okay, the first one is the personal loan. Okay, what is the personal loan? The personal loan are borrowed that can be used for just about any purpose, such as debt cancellation is the most common reason that many people take out their personal loan to pay their various debts, such as our bills, loan payment, and many other, or they also can use it for emergency expenses. For example, medical bills when they negotiated with the hospital or a doctor to cover up an unexpected medical costs, and they can use it for emergencies around their house or their work. This means that by the personal loan, you can pay the money back including interest, which in monthly installment over time, usually 2 or 5 years. To get the personal loan, you can normally apply online or in person and will have to provide some basic personal and financial information. The lender will consider your employment status, income, outstanding debts, and overall credit score to assess whether you are eligible for a loan and determine the interest rate that you will pay. Okay, the second one is the bank overdraft. Okay, what is the bank overdraft? The bank is an unsecured form of credit or type of financial instrument that is used primarily for covering short-term cash requirements. In other words, bank overdraft occurs when there is inadequate money in an account bank to accommodate a transaction or withdrawal, but it does not affect the transaction of the bank. Essentially, it's an extension of credit from the financial institution that is granted when an account reaches zero. Therefore, bank overdraft helps people in managing the availability of cash for a business or an individual. The second is the bank overdraft also helps people in fulfilling urgent cash requirements. The third one is the bank overdraft has no requirement of collateral. The last but not least, bank overdraft also has no less amount of paperwork involved in availing a bank overdraft.